Now we go to the third item from Deputy Caoimhghín Caoláin, who wishes to discuss with the Minister for Health his continuing refusal to accept the Beneluxa Initiative concerning Nusinersen, now that Ireland has joined the initiative. Deputy Minister McGrath, you're taking this issue.
Well, could I ask for clarification why the Minister for Health is not here? It's less than half an hour since he was sitting in that front row and left. It's Minister Harris who should be taking this particular topical issue as Minister for Health, and no disrespect to Minister of State McGrath.
My understanding that when a minister is not in a position to take a matter, he informs the deputy, and a minister with delegated responsibility.
Well, I have no such courtesy extended to me in relation to this matter. I've been in correspondence with the Minister on this matter and have engaged with him, and I am very disappointed that he has failed to present here this afternoon. But I will continue. I have it to say that Minister McGrath is a parent. Minister Harris is not yet a parent, at least so I understand. But I hope he will know the joy and the stress of parenthood. And I do believe that he can imagine the distress that a parent or parents would struggle with if their child had a life-limiting condition, and despite their impassioned appeals, their government and its agencies refused to make a proven life-saving, yes, life-saving drug available to their child. Imagine if it was your child. There are 25 such children across this state, and they and their parents are suffering grievously. Some 70 people would benefit immediately from approval of this drug, I am told reliably. Spinraza, also known as Nusinersen, is a first-of-its-kind treatment licensed throughout the EU to treat spinal muscular atrophy. Spinal muscular atrophy is a rare neuromuscular disorder characterised by loss of motor neurons and progressive muscle wasting, which can be fatal. And I will repeat, which can be fatal and is fatal. I have spoken only today with a parent who lost a young child and heard once again the serious pain and hurt that will remain with that gentleman and his family and many other families because of the absence of any medicinal support. American pharmaceutical company Biogen manufacture a drug called Nusinersen or Spinraza, but the drug is not available here in Ireland. In May 2017, the European Medicines Agency granted market authorisation for Spinraza, and in October 2017, the HSE received a reimbursement application. In December 2017, the National Centre for Pharmacoeconomics completed a health technology assessment of Spinraza and did not recommend reimbursement at the price submitted. Minister Harris stated in a reply to me on this issue on the 25th of September by letter that he did not have any statutory power of function in relation to reimbursement of medicines, and I would ordinarily accept this. However, it is quite clear that the primary obstacle in this instance is price. We have clearly seen this arise previously with Orkambi and other such orphan drugs. Yet again, it is the patient, and more worrying in this case, very ill and vulnerable young children who are caught in the middle of a price war between big pharma and government. Significantly since this June, we are part of the Beneluxa Initiative. Minister McGrath, I don't know if you will be able to elaborate from the text that you've been requested to deliver on the part of Minister Harris, but I had questions to ask now that we are a part of the Beneluxa Initiative. The Beneluxa Initiative have secured a negotiated arrangement for a significantly reduced provision of the drug Spinraza, and we are now in tandem with Belgium, the Netherlands, with Luxembourg and with Austria. We are now part of this grouping, and I want to know, can we not now be added to the negotiated arrangement for Spinraza? And if the answer is in the negative, why would this not be possible, I ask you? Has the Department of Health, on another level, explored joining the arrangement in relation to Spinraza, or even endeavouring to establish a new agreement in tandem with either this particular initiative or other countries? And can the Minister finally, Count Corlia, update the House today on where the Nusinersen or Spinraza process stands and where this process is likely to lead us in the short term, because it is short term that we need a result in this instance?
First of all, I want to thank Deputy Caoimhghín O'Queill. I also want to apologise for Minister Simon Harris, as he was unavailable this evening, and I want to say that I will be representing him in this debate. I want to thank Deputy Caoimhghín O'Queill for raising this very, very important issue. Spinraza is indicated for the treatment of 5q spinal muscular atrophy, SMA, a disorder characterised by progressive muscle atrophy and weakness. I appreciate that this debilitating and progressive condition places enormous pressures on SMA sufferers and their families and carers, and that access to potentially beneficial drug treatments is an extremely important issue for people with SMA. Today, like Deputy Caoimhghín, I met a family, Paul, Lorraine and Grace O'Malley from Mayo, with their lovely daughter Grace, and I was really impressed by their compassion, their whole sincerity and their urgent need as well. And I think it's important that I record that on the House. As Deputy Caoimhghín O'Queill will be aware, Ireland signed the existing Beneluxa Initiative on the pharmaceutical policy on the 22nd of June 2018. In response to some of your questions raised, Ceann Comhairle, this agreement is in line with the Minister for Health's stated objective to work with European countries to identify workable solutions in an increasingly challenging environment and to secure timely access for patients to new medicines in an affordable and sustainable way. In July 2018, two members of the Beneluxa Initiative on the pharmaceutical policy, Belgium and the Netherlands, completed a joint negotiation for the reimbursement of Spinraza. However, this joint negotiation process commenced when Ireland had only opened negotiations with Belgium, the Netherlands, Austria and Luxembourg, with the view to joining the existing collaboration between these four countries. As a candidate country, Ireland was not notified due to the confidentiality arrangements that negotiations were occurring for the reimbursement of Spinraza, and we were not party to the negotiations and proceedings that occurred. As the Deputy is aware, the Oireachtas has put in place a robust legal framework in the Health Pricing and Supply Medical Goods Act 2013, which gives full statutory powers to the HSE to assess and make decisions on reimbursement of medicines, taking account of the range of objective factors and expert opinion as appropriate. The Act specifies the criteria to be applied in the making of the reimbursement decisions, which include the clinical and cost-effectiveness of the product, the opportunity cost, and the impact on resources that are available to the HSE. In reaching this decision, the HSE will decide with all the relevant evidence and will take into account such experts' opinions and recommendations that are appropriate, including from the National Centre of Pharmacoeconomics, the NCPE. The HSE received an application for the reimbursement of Spinraza in July 2017. The NCPE conducted a health technology assessment on Spinraza and did not recommend the reimbursement of Spinraza at the submitted price. The application for the reimbursement of Spinraza is currently being considered by the Technology Review Committee on the Rare Diseases and the HSE Drugs Group. It is due to be considered by the HSE leadership team shortly, following which the final decisions will be notified. Thank you, Concordia.
As I suspected, the response is but a rehashing of much of what Minister Harris put in his letter to me just a few short weeks ago. I have it to say that there is absolutely no question as to the clinical effectiveness of Spinraza. This is a proven medicine, a proven drug, and one that has been absolutely granted market authorisation by the European Medicines Agency. I think it is absolutely outrageous that we are going through a process here that is independent of an exercise that happened by happen chance to have commenced before we became members of the Beneluxa Initiative, and that we are not actively and proactively pursuing access to that arrangement. There is nowhere in the reply that you've just put on the record, Minister McGrath, an answer to the question I have asked: can Ireland be added to the Beneluxa agreement for Spinraza, and if not, why not? Why not? Is the door closed to us for some reason? What was the facts, or what are the facts of the terms and conditions of our becoming a member of the Beneluxa Initiative? Were we not to be a beneficiary state, lining ourselves up with those countries in relation to more affordable access to expensive medication? That's the reason why we've joined in the first place, and this is an ideal exercise to test the effectiveness of the decision and the arrangement in place. You know, talking in terms of decisions will be notified, process is underway, all of this is down to pounds and pence, euros and cents, and children's lives are ticking away as we speak. And you're quite right, you have met with one of those families, as you indicate, and you would have seen, as I have seen, the huge worry and the strain that is in the eyes of all of those parents. Those beautiful children deserve a better response than the "we will see" situation that the Minister offers here once again today. I urge you to use your position at the Cabinet table, Minister McGrath, special member of Same that you are, to press for this immediately.
Yeah, Caoimhghín, I don't doubt Deputy Caoimhghín McGrath's sincerity on the issue, and particularly on Spinraza as a proven drug. And Minister Michael Ring and myself would be on the same page when it comes to that. The HSE is the decision-making body on the reimbursement of medicines under the Health Price and Supply of Medical Goods Act 2013, and it is the HSE who will make the final decision whether Spinraza will be reimbursed, taking into consideration the statutory criteria as specified under the Health Act. I know, again, I want to commend Caoimhghín for raising this issue. Paul and Lorraine and Grace O'Malley, I know they have a very difficult day tomorrow ahead of them in Temple Street. I want to wish Grace well with our operation tomorrow. But again, there's a moral, ethical debate going on here as well, when you talk of quality of life cost. And my personal view is that price should never be an issue when it comes to children's health. And I would urge common sense in relation to this issue, because I was directly involved in the campaign at the time of the Orcambi debate, and we all rallied around those families. So I will bring your strong views. I accept your views are very strong and sincere. I know the families are suffering, and I'll bring all of the views and all the issues raised back to Minister Simon Harris. Thank you.